All right, well, let's just jump right into it. And we're gonna have this as a recorded video as well. So some of you guys are gonna, if you can't stay for the whole thing, not a big deal. Um, we're gonna have this up on YouTube as well. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Um, yeah, I think we'll just start here. Things are looking good. All right. Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm so used to saying this is a podcast or something like that. Today it's just going to be a live stream, and it's part introduction um, to welcome Kevin publicly. He's sort of been working behind the scenes with me, and we're going to be talking about Kevin, a little about him, and then we're going to dive right into Pebble, which is sort of, I think, what a lot of you guys are also here for. It's cool to see all these comments come through. But anyways,
Yeah.
so I've got Kevin here live with me. Kevin, how's it going?
Hey everyone, I'm doing well. It's a bright and early morning for me.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Kevin, Kevin's actually out in Korea right now. So
Yes, South Korea, the good one.
South Korea. It's funny. Both Kevin and I have been sort of working together for the last several months, and we haven't really had too much of a chance to sort of catch up and just sort of talk. And this is what we're going to be doing here. I mean, obviously, I do know you, and we have chatted quite a bit. But and I want to be able to also have all you guys who have been following to get to know Kevin. But for the last several months, we both have our heads down, and we've been staying focused to bring something pretty awesome together. And a little backstory for nobody knows, I guess, but I met Kevin a while back, earlier this year, through the RE Tipster community. And shout out to Seth and Jaron over at RE Tipster. Awesome guys, and honestly have been great supporters from the start. Anyways, I caught a glimpse of what Kevin had been working on, and saw that Kevin was big on systems and automation. So we ended up catching up on a call, and I got excited to see if we could work together, and we pretty much said, let's do this. And between the website stuff and the automation side of things, it all just seemed to like, hey, we could make this all fit together. And we've been talking about it, and we've been working on it, and we've been talking about where we're going to be able to bring things in the future as well. So yeah, we literally got off that call and saying, let's do this. So here we are today, several months later. Kevin is now part of the REI Conversion team. By the way, I'm going to be also introducing one of our other team members on another live stream, probably in a week, or no, actually probably in a couple weeks. But Yuli's also behind the scenes working with me on the website part of things. So she's going to be on the show as well. But anyways, we've been building Pebble, testing, planning, and some of you may have seen me mention this a few times, and it's great to see the interest and reaction for this. So before we get into Pebble, Kevin, can you share a little bit about yourself? Let's start with your background in what you do.
Yeah, so hi everyone. As Jesse mentioned, I'm Kevin. I live here in South Korea, and basically I've been a professional software developer since I graduated college, and sort of been a consultant and working on different projects on the software side of things. Built many products over the years, and I got into land investing a little over a year ago is when I really got into it. And so I've been doing that more or less full time since then, and also doing software development on the side. And yeah, I was doing the business, and I was sort of looking at the tools around to kind of manage things, and I just wasn't satisfied with what I saw in the marketplace. And I thought, this is what I do for a living, so I'll just build something for myself and see how it goes. And that tool that I built ended up being a huge boon for me as a land investor. It really helped me kind of automate a lot of stuff and get a lot of that tedious kind of tracking tasks out of my head and into a system that can manage it for me. And and that's when I showed it to a few people. Jesse caught wind of it and was like, "Hey, this is great. We should actually release this." So
Yeah,
that's sort of how it went down.
yeah. What was my question here? Now I totally went blank here. You pretty much answered a lot of my questions here. I went through. I've went through a couple other systems before, and I too sort of got lost in a lot of the other systems that were running out there. And it was great to see what Kevin had put together initially, and it was sort of the framework of what we got started with, and we sort of continued to build off from there together. So does anybody have any questions for Kevin here? I'm like, man, I thought I had a bunch of questions here. I'm looking at my list here. I'm like, he blew by this really quick, but I'm sure everybody, I see everybody's just like, I'm pumped to see what Pebble is.
Show me the Pebble.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's do this. I mean, let's just jump right into it. Let's see here. So we're sort of running a bunch of screens here, and I'm going to share my screen. I've actually put together I've never done this before, but put together a sort of PowerPoint, which is, did I close it? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Oh, here we go. We got a question here. Has it been easy to do land investing overseas, Kevin?
Oh, great question. So, yes and no. Yes, in that I think land investing is kind of a unique niche in the real estate industry where you can do it entirely remotely. There have been challenges, certainly, but I think actually those challenges end up getting you in a better spot with land investing, because if you start out knowing that I have to do everything remotely, I have to do everything in an automated fashion, it sort of forces you to make sure all your systems are in place. So I do remote notarizations. I do all my mailings remotely, all of my follow-ups and call tracking, everything's done remotely. And so far it's been pretty straightforward. I haven't run into any serious issues that I haven't been able to solve. So I think as somebody, if you're looking to do a business outside of the U.S., I think land investing is a really good way to do it.
It's funny, both of us are currently out of the States. So I'm actually up in Vancouver, Canada, and Kevin's out in Seoul, Korea. So, and Yui's out in Taiwan. We've all had times in different places.
International.
I know, it's crazy now. But all right, let's do this. Doesn't seem like there's any more questions here. So, so we're going to just go through exactly what is Pebble. All right, I'm going to turn off I'm going to share my screen. That's what I'm going to do. Application window. Can you see this? Is this?
Hooray.
Yeah.
So should I turn off my?
No, what I'll do is I will spotlight myself, and then I full screen this, I think. Do you guys see that? Is this? I'm going to
yes.
Facebook. Okay. All right. So Pebble. How should I start here? So Pebble is something that we've been working on. It's an automation and tracking tracking app for land investors. So it's built for land investors specifically. So our main goal with Pebble is to help you automate and scale your land investing business by streamlining the process that you already have in place. So essentially, we know that you run your business a certain way. Everybody sort of runs their business a different way. And Pebble sort of forms around that. Pebble essentially automates and streamlines that process for you, and it will centralize your land investing, acting as a hub to streamline everything and manage your business through. Here's a little cool graphic. So it's a little screenshot of Pebble here. So I'm going to talk about sort of the five. At launch, we're going to have sort of 5 different parts to Pebble. The first one is mailing. So you're going to be able to do mailing automation. You're going to be able to set it and forget it. There's also the documentation part of things. You're going to be able to edit and generate docs inside of Pebble and fire them off. Then you're also going to be able to manage your property. So inside of your, your Pebble property manager, you'll be able to relay everything in there from images and docs. So you'll be able to manage everything about that property. And that's actually the screenshot you're seeing right now. A huge part of this is being able to track your leads. So both your buyers and seller leads, you're going to be able to bring that all into Pebble as well. And finally, you're going to be able to integrate with a lot of different things, and we'll sort of go through that a little bit later. But again, we're looking to be able to use Pebble and streamline everything into Pebble, so it's sort of one centralized place. Okay, so let's talk about mailings first. I'm sorry for the keyboard clicks here, but it allows me to move through this presentation. So you're going to be able to handle print and mail inside of Pebble. So mail automation, and sorry here. So you'll be able to handle your print and mailing inside of Pebble. Aside from just printing and mailing, you'll also be able to drip out your mail on a daily basis. So it's something that we believe in very much, that allow you to sort of avoid spikes of leads that are coming in and sort of jacking up your workflow and causing your workflow to be interrupted with the amount of leads that you're getting in. So again, we'll be able to prevent waves of leads that come in. And another thing with our mailing system, you'll now be able to do address verification. This means that all addresses are verified live to confirm that there is an actual address to send your mail out to. So you don't lose dollars on addresses that don't actually exist. All right, so let me head over to the next screen here. The next portion of things is the documents generator. You'll have access to our documents library, and it's one that will continue to grow. So we'll have templates inside of there, but you'll have the ability to also create your own templates or mailers inside of Pebble with our doc editor. From there, you'll be able to send your mailing out. So your offers you can send from Pebble. You'll also be able to do one-off mailings. So things like your neighbor letters or anything that needs signing, you can send off with Pebble with just a simple click. And as a huge time saver, all your fields will automatically generate and populate. So when you have one template set up, it'll be easy to recreate that exact letter or document for any other seller or buyer with a push of a button. Okay, so over to managing your properties. One of the things that Pebble is also going to be able to do is, again, manage your properties. You'll be able to track all your properties through, track all your leads that are related to properties inside of Pebble, meaning that each lead can be assigned to the property. Not only that, we have something we're calling our mapping tool. You can create a map image and outline the parcel of the property as well. As well, you can handle all of your images inside of Pebble. So we'll also demo this afterwards. And finally, you'll be able to access all of your documents inside of the property manager as well. All right, so next here we have the buyer and seller lead tracking. So this is one of sort of Pebble's more powerful feature in my eyes, and it's this whole lead tracking. You can now bring in all of your buyer and seller leads into one centralized place. So whether you're marketing on something like Zillow to your own website, to land.com or Craigslist, you can pull all those leads directly and assign it to a property. You're essentially bringing those leads in and centralizing them all. So another thing that we considered a lot is we aren't looking to interrupt your current process that you're you currently have dialed in with follow-up and nurturing your leads. So systems like HubSpot, MailChimp, MailerLite, Pipedrive, Follow-Up Boss, all these different systems are super powerful, and we believe in them as well, and we do use them as well, and they do an amazing job. So that's why we've directly integrated with Zapier. So we do have a Zapier app that will push through to any sort of system, follow-up system or autoresponder that you have already. All right. So actually, I went ahead here. What I want to do is actually pass this over to Kevin. And Kevin, you can sort of demo and walk us through the actual app. So what am I doing now? So I am going to, can you share your screen? A spotlight?
Yes, I can. Yep, just a second here.
And I will stop my screen share.
Okay, hold on just a sec. Let me find... Okay.
I have some questions already here. So I'll try to answer these questions at the end, and we'll try to save some time for a Q&A at the very end.
Okay, just a sec. I'm trying to find our...
I know it's not as easy when you're on the spot trying to do this. I've got 2 keyboards and 2 computers.
Okay, guess that. Okay, let me share my screen here.
Yep.
Application window. There we go. Sharing. Okay, can everybody see that?
I think so. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Good. Okay, so welcome to Pebble. So this is the Pebble application, and this is what you will see when you sign up and hop into Pebble. So the one thing that Jesse mentioned is a big piece of Pebble is this idea of generating documents. We know that everything in land investing is sort of based on documents, whether it's an offer letter that goes out or a deed or a contract or a promissory note. We have documents that we need to manage and okay. All right, so I think I was talking about templates before we got kicked off.
Yeah, it looks like on Facebook, I'm just looking here, we got interrupted and we lost a bunch of people here.
Okay, I'll keep going here, and you can chime in if I need to stop. So we've got templates that are built into the Pebble system, and so the first thing we'll talk about are offer letters. So in this case, I've got a blind offer letter. So this is a letter that goes out with a cash offer. If I edit that, you can see that I've got the ability to customize this letter to exactly the way I want it to. So this little red spot up here, that's where the address is going to get printed on the mailer window of the envelope. And then everything else here is totally customizable. So I can go in and edit my logo. I can bring in images. I can put signatures in here. I can change this text to be whatever I'd like. And it really lets me customize my offer letters to be exactly the way I want them to look. And then you'll notice that throughout this letter, I've got these little squiggly brackets next to things. So those are placeholders. So as these letters go out, we're basically going to mail merge in the details about the property. So here we've got property APN, county name. And if you go up here to the placeholder dropdown, you can see all the placeholders that are available. So we've got things like the offer price, the dates that you want to put in here. And that'll let you really customize this letter to exactly the targeting the owner that you want to make an offer to. So once you've customized your letter, you'll just go down here and click Save. You can also preview your letter at any point to see what it's going to look like as an actual PDF.
Sorry, Kevin, I was just
okay. So the next thing that I'm going to show is campaigns. So once you've created your offer letter, Now we need to start sending out mail, and that's where campaigns come into place. So I can have as many campaigns as I want to, and those campaigns can be as big or as small as I want to, and so that gives you a lot of flexibility to, if you want to do A/B testing or try to test out new markets, you can send just a small campaign and see what your response rate is on those. So here I've got a campaign for Santa Fe County, New Mexico, and I've got my offers that I've uploaded. So I've uploaded a list. In my case, this list came from DataTree, and I won't go through the whole upload process, but we've really tried to streamline that as much as possible. So we'll actually, you can tell us where your list is coming from, and we'll try to match up the data so it's just a one-click process there. And then at any point, I can activate this campaign. What activate means is basically once the campaign is active, every evening we are going to send out a drip of these offer letters. So in this case, my daily offer count is 100. So that means 100 letters are going to go out every night for this campaign, and I can go in here and change that to whatever I want. So if I wanted 1,000 letters to go out per night or 10 letters to go out per night, I can really scale that number up and down to fit my business and how I want that to work. And then you can see here that at any point I can preview what an offer letter is going to look like. So I'll click that, and it's going to pull up a download. So let me...
Sorry, Kevin, can you hear me?
Pull this into Chrome so you can see it. Okay. There
Kevin,
we go. Okay, so this is my offer letter that gets generated for that property. So you can see that I've got the logo like I had in my template editor, and then all those placeholders have been replaced with the actual property data. So you can preview those at any time, and then at any point, if you just wanted to send one of these out, you can click Send Now, or you can view a letter that's already been sent out. We'll show that to you right here, and then you can see when that letter is expected to be delivered, and you can also send a different one if you'd like. So that's campaigns, and the next thing we'll do is look at seller and buyer leads. So once you've got a campaign that's gone out, you're going to start getting leads that come in. So we've got sellers over here, and this is where we're going to track everyone who's either contacting me via phone or filling out a lead sheet on my website. All of those leads will come in to Pebble through this seller leads panel. So let me just drill into a seller lead. So this is an example lead. This one came just from our example Pebble account. So your emails that you get sent here, actually I should explain that real quick. So every Pebble account is going to get a seller's email address that's customized to your company, and any email that you send to this address is going to land here in the seller's inbox, and same with buyers. So you get a buyer's inbox and a seller's inbox. So you would give this email address to your website to send leads into, or if you've got some other lead generation system, you can give it that email address. So as leads come in, you'll see the email that comes in. You can type in what information, whether it came from Craigslist, Facebook, if somebody was just on the phone with you. And then you can make comments about this. So you can say, Bob wants to sell now. So you can make comments and basically track all the information about this lead, and then you can tie it to a specific property. And a nice thing about what Pebble does here is we'll automatically try to pull out this information as it comes in. So if we get email and phone, we'll try to pull out that information. So hopefully you don't have to do any actual typing.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll save that lead, and then I'll also just show you buyer leads. So this is an example where you've got properties that you've already purchased and now you want to market them. So you've got these listed on Craigslist or Zillow or land.com, Landmodo. And you would give each one of those land listing sites your buyer's inbox email address so that all the leads come into Pebble. So here's an example from a site called Land Century. So this is the email that gets sent from Land Century, and it includes things like the lead email, name, and then what the person typed in on landcentury.com when they were looking at my property. So again, we'll pull out all the lead information here, and then I can quickly and easily tie that to a specific property. And I can, just like on the seller side, I can make comments if I gave this person a call, and I can detail the conversation we had on that phone call right here. And then once I've got that lead in, this is where we can integrate with any other application that you're using. So if you have like a buyer's list in MailChimp or in Constant Contact or Follow Up Boss or whatever you're using to manage your buyer's list, we make it very easy to just send this lead over to that system. So I can just say send to Zapier, and boom, it's gone to my Zapier account, and I can actually look at my my Zapier account. So every let's see here. So Pebble. Yeah, we have a Zapier Pebble application, and so when you go into your settings page, you can click Connect to Zapier. That'll go through a authentication process, and then you will have the Zapier Pebble app, and then you can have that set up to send your things into Constant Contact or Trello, or however you want to manage your leads outside of Pebble. You can do that, or you can just manage them inside of Pebble. We give you that flexibility to kind of export data and import data very, very seamlessly.
I think one thing that is worth really mentioning here that is really cool, that when a lead notification comes in from, and I'm sorry if you mentioned this, when it comes in as a template from another source, let's say Land Century or land.com, the system is able to parse all that information. So it's able to find exactly the name and their contact information. And just cuts you a lot of time in terms of having to go through and re-enter in all that information. So we do have a list of sources that leads are coming through, and as time goes along, we can add more to those sources as well. But yeah, we've got a lot. Same with if some of you guys are running REI Land List, you're able to even add an ID code to that property, and the lead, when it comes in, will be able to assign that lead right directly to that property inside of Pebble. So it really requires no work for you to kind of look that property up. So we're integrating with a lot of different systems.
Yeah, great point. Okay, so we've talked about buyers and seller leads. Now we're going to hop over to the actual property details. So this is an example of a property that I've got a buyer for, and you can see that we track all the information that you uploaded from your list. So the acreage, taxes, owner details, all of that information is going to be at your fingertips right here as part of each property. We also have the map. So if you gave us the latitude and longitude coordinates for that property when you uploaded your list, we'll put the map coordinates there. And then we'll also track any documents that you've generated for this property, whether that's a warranty deed, your offer letter will show up in here, and we have images as well. So let me just walk through a few kind of main points about this property management page. So we have these stages that a property goes through, and anyone running a land business knows that everything is about your system and your process. So we let you customize this to exactly what your business how your business needs. So you can change these stages here. In this case, I've got my due diligence, I've purchased the property, I'm marketing the property, and then I've sold the property. But if I wanted to add new stages in here, or I wanted to change these, we let you do that right in your settings panel. So you can add as many or as few of these as you want to, and that lets you sort of put these properties through exactly the way your business model requires. Okay, so we'll keep this one in the marketing stage, and let's hop over to the map. So one thing that we commonly need to do is generate maps, and sometimes that can be difficult to do if you have to like look up on the county website where that property is, and maybe you have to like using their interface like look up the latitude and longitude points and then type them into Google Earth, and it can be kind of a pain. So we tried to make that process as simple as possible. So if you hop over to this map section, you'll see that we have already put a generic property line of at the latitude and longitude, but it's likely there's going to be some tweaking that you have to do. So you might look up on the county website and say, okay, this really is a property that looks like, let's say it's kind of a weird shaped one. So it looks like this. So you can really just draw exactly where those property lines are. And once you're satisfied with that, you can click save, and we'll keep that property in there. And this will support any shape that you want. So if you've got triangular properties or curved sides, you can go in here and really tweak exactly how you want that to show up, either on your website or some other land listing site. And then the real beauty here is that you can download the KML file, and a KML file can be opened by applications like Google Earth. And this will open Google Earth with this shape right on there, and then you can do a 3D view and zoom in on it and take screenshots and do whatever you want to with that property outline. So that really we're really trying to just save you time in having to go through and update this. And obviously this is very VA friendly, so they can go in here and make these changes and generate your maps very quickly. Yep. The next thing we're going to show is images. So every property is likely going to have some set of images. So here I've just got some example images that we'll upload. And give this just a couple seconds. And okay, so we've got our images. We can upload as many as we want to our property. A beautiful thing here is that we're actually going to allow you to watermark these images with your logo directly inside of Pebble. So you can put your logo up, and we'll watermark these and make so those images are ready to go list on your website or on another website with the watermarks right in there. All right, next thing is documents. So this is a real key feature of Pebble, and this is where we think you get a lot of time saved. So here we've got all the templates. We saw the templates in our templates list before, and we've actually got a whole gallery of templates. So purchase contracts, warranty deeds, notes, all the things that you can imagine. We're going to try to have templates that you can then go in there and customize. Mm-hmm. So in this case, let's just generate a warranty deed. So this would be buying a property from somebody. So what I'll do is I'll just click that new warranty deed, and I'll type in any information that I need to change. Like maybe I've done some due diligence and I know the book and page number, so I can type in that here, or change maybe the signatures. Maybe if this is now owned by this person's child or something, I can go in here and change the signatures. I can add multiple signatures if there's like a husband and wife there. And so once I've got all the information filled out correctly, I can either preview that document, which will just show me what the PDF is going to look like before I save it, or I can just click save. And then this is going to generate my document. And you can see I've got my warranty deed. It's filled out all the information with the buyer and me as the seller, and then it's also included an extra page with the legal description, assessor's parcel number. If I had a book and page reference, that would be printed on here too. And then that's ready to be either I can download this and have it e-signed, or I can even just send this as a mailer right here. So I can send this off to that Bobby guy, type in his address here, and if we have his address already, this will auto-populate. And then I just click send, and that'll go in the mail to this person for signature, and then they can mail it right back to me. So it's very quick and easy to generate these documents. For anyone who's put together those giant promissory notes and land contracts, they can get very tedious, and a lot of times you'll misspell something, and the person tells you, and you got to go in and regenerate it. Here, it's just very, very simple. It's sort of one click is what we want this to be. So that's documents, and then I can go and view that at any time, download it. And then also we've got our buyers and sellers. So any buyer or seller that we've tied to this property, again, will just show up in here. So I can see very quickly, I can look at a property and say, oh, I had 10 leads this week and 15 leads last week, and I can sort of track how my selling is going and track how much marketing I need to do or not do for this property. Mm-hmm. So is there anything else that we should touch on before I stop doing here?
Well, I think that's awesome. Us showing most of what Pebble looks like inside. We've got a lot of questions here, but before that, let's wrap up on the talk about Pebble. I'm just going to put the screen back on myself here. Oh, yeah, that's not full screen, is it? Is that full screen for you guys?
That's full screen, yep.
Okay. So one of the things that I didn't really mention, but Pebble really works, again, with all different systems that you already have in place. These are just some of it, and we'll continue to add to this as well. But really, again, Pebble is going to work around the systems that you have in place already. Okay, so to sum it up, I know a lot of you guys have been asking how much is Pebble. At launch, it will be $179 per month under our yearly plan. We plan to have a monthly plan as well, but that's unannounced. It might be super weird to mention this, but unlike with a lot of real estate software, there is absolutely no setup fees. You'll get 14 days access completely free to learn the system, to dive deep into the system as well. There's no contracts or anything like that. So, and finally, we will be launching July 10th, 2020, and possibly even earlier than that. We're working pretty hard to get this out as soon as possible. And then if you want to stay in touch with us, make sure you head over to pebblerei.com. That's the website. You'll be able to enter your name and email there, get on our email list. But yeah, we should be, we have our plans are set on July 10th, but again, we might be opening things up a little bit earlier than that. So make sure you stay tuned. All right. Let's see, Kevin, I think I was trying to talk earlier, but I realized because I wasn't sharing my camera on my screen, I don't think you heard me. So I was like, oh, okay, let's keep going. But
jerk Kevin is just not even listening to what I'm saying.
All right. So let's take some questions here. We got a couple minutes left here. Before that, Kevin, did I miss anything that you wanted to cover?
No, I don't think.
Okay, let me scroll back up on. And sorry about that, guys. We got cut off, and this video got separated into two sections here. But it is what it is. Technology. All right, let me pull this up here. Somebody asked, how about managing calls interest with major time zone differences?
Is this for me since I'm over in Korea?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. What I do is I have a voicemail system that tries to weed out as many kind of non things that I don't really need to follow up with. So I try to uh, have a very detailed message of saying exactly what I need, or if they can go to my website and do things digitally, I try to encourage that. But then I just batch everything in my mornings. So I'll get like email or like voicemails overnight, and I'll usually spend an hour when I first wake up, which is like mid afternoon in the places where I'm selling. Um, so then I'll just spend an hour and respond to everybody. I've also got VAs that can do a lot of that stuff, and they're stateside, so that they can do things in the correct time zones.
During the time you sleep.
Yeah.
All right. Interested to hear about integration since most of us already have a tech stack already. So this was probably before we got talking about some of the integrations that we have. And I don't think there's much to answer about that right now, but I'll keep going down the question list here. So if there's a question to follow up with that, please post it. This is a good
and
one.
I just want to also,
Yeah.
before we hop off on that one, I just want to mention that one of our big things that we're going to focus on is making this integrate very well. So whether that's sending property details to Zapier to then send to your listing site, we're also going to look at how to bring data into Pebble. So if you have Airtable or something where you want to manage your lists in Airtable, we're going to try to make the integration where you can send stuff from Airtable to Pebble or something like that. So we're not quite there yet, but that's something that we're definitely focusing on, is making that two-way communication really seamless.
Awesome. Does address verification work on PO boxes? So, actually, you might know a little bit more than this than I would.
Yeah, I need to look into that. I know it will verify that the post office is correct,
Yeah.
and that it will get to that post office exists. I'm not sure how detailed our address verification works on specific post office boxes. We might be able to let you set the strictness of that. I know we have the ability to make our verification like super strict, where it will say if there's anything wrong with the address, it'll fail, which might include post office boxes that don't exist. Right now, we're just doing sort of halfway verification, where we say the post office will just say this is an address or not, and then we will deliver that or not. So,
is the mail handled in-house, or does the mail merge go to our mailing vendor? So mailing is handled all through our system. It won't be going to another vendor or anything like that. A lot of vendors actually, to our surprise, don't even take PDFs the way that we're putting things together. But yeah, it will be sort of running through our system directly. Here's a good one. So can we link our business email to Pebble to get calls, emails, and buying site inputs? Can we link our business email to Pebble? Does that make sense to you?
I think what this means is, when I get a phone call, can it show up in Pebble? I think that's what that means. So yes. So any system that can send an email, and actually we can integrate with Zapier too on this one. So if you have, like, I use a phone system called Talkie, and every time I get a phone call, or a voice message or a text message or something, it will email Pebble, and that email will show up right in my buyers or sellers list in Pebble, and then from there I can follow up or tie that to a specific property or do anything like that. So yeah, emails and calls can all come into Pebble.
Somebody asked, what's coming up on your product roadmap? So
Everything.
we'll sort of be revealing that over time, and we'll be sharing a little bit more about that after launch. But we've got some pretty crazy and cool ideas that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, this is
stay tuned for just an early teaser. This is one that is sort of a pet project for me. I want to make a tool that makes pricing lists really awesome. So instead of digging through Excel spreadsheets, we're gonna make it possible for you to upload a list, like a raw unpriced list, into Pebble, and then sort through those and price them in a little bit more graphic sort of way. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be hard, but I would really like to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of wild ideas we've been sort of talking about, but I mean, at launch is what you see, and then we're slowly going to continue to launch different features and add different features over time. Yeah. So I think this was a follow-up to the question, is the email question. So we have our business email already. We get a new email for Pebble as well.
Right. So Pebble will have its own email address. Now, if you have a business email address that you're already getting your leads from, what I would recommend to do in that case is just set up a forward. So any email that you get, let's say you have a Gmail inbox and you don't want to like change the way people are sending emails, from within Gmail, you can just go in your settings panel and click add a forwarding address, then give Gmail your Pebble inbox email address. Then anything that lands in your Gmail inbox will automatically go to Pebble and show up in your Pebble inbox.
Now, if you're confused about some of this stuff, we will be, obviously there'll be video walkthroughs, tutorials and whatnot, but we will also be doing some regular calls and showing some of this stuff. And coming back to that email, the email that Pebble assigns you is really really good to use for notifications for systems that you already signed up with. So if it's like LandWatch or say land.com, that's the email that you'll want to use to get notified of new leads. Say something with REI land leads or land lists, that's going to be the email you're going to use when you get notified when somebody submits a their lead to you or their property to you, so that it routes over to your Pebble account. Again, that's our way of sort of centralizing everything right into Pebble, essentially. All right.
Yeah, we're also not trying to replace your email inbox. We still want you to use whatever email inbox you're comfortable with. But Pebble is just more for taking in those leads that come from the land listing sites, and then managing from there.
Awesome. I think that is all the questions we got. I think. Oh, sorry, I missed one here. Kevin, do you make calls personally to leads coming in while you're in Korea? If so, what software?
Yeah, I use Talkie. So it's just it's like a what's the popular one?
Ring Central.
Ring Central, or some of the other
CallRail.
ones. It's just basic. Yeah, CallRail. It's basically one of those. And yeah, it works perfectly. I just make calls from my computer, and I've got a local number in the areas where I do my buying and selling, and it just works fine.
Actually, I did a live stream just a few days ago. For those of you guys that are, if you're not always on the phone, this is a crazy plan that AppSumo has right now. If you go to reiconversion.com/phonewagon, it's like a one-time lifetime deal. It's insane. I know a lot of you guys, including myself, purchased it. It's like $80 and you get like 500 minutes every month forever. So you get like 5 numbers, 250 texts a month. It's just crazy. So there's tracking and integration. So check that out as well. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much the end of this live stream. Thanks for all of you guys who joined in live with us. You got to get to know Kevin a little bit. We're going to continue to polish what we have right now and get everything ready for launch in the beginning of July. If you, again, want to stay posted and see what's going on, obviously in the Facebook group here, you can also get on our mailing list at, let me see if I can pull this up. PebbleREI.com. There it is. PebbleREI.com. Drop your email in there. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment in below these videos or shoot us an email at hello@reiconversion.com. Kevin, am I missing anything else?
No, I think we covered it all. Stay tuned for many, many more updates and tutorial videos. We'll be pushing content out as we get closer to launch, and
Yeah, awesome. All right, thanks, Kevin, and thanks everybody watching. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.